We will take your minds off of it for the next under 2 hours.
Perfect. Let's do it.
And we will jump right in. I will take a pause in about an hour and see how we're feeling, but might just take either a very short break or just power all the way through, totally
Cool.
depending on how you guys are feeling.
Mhm.
But we'll jump in with what happened last time. If anyone did get a chance to listen to the recording.
There was so we had kind of like a continued face off with the Zogma siblings. There was a bunch. There was a big um, alligator crocodile fight.
Yes, there was.
We eventually got to a point where we realized that they wanted Sir Basil as kind of like revenge for everything that happened to their mother and sister or their sibling. Wanted Sir Basil wanted to like erase the memory of Sir Basil, so no one would remember him. Um, and through kind of like a tense back and forth, some like biting of people. I think at one point Aurora was uh, knocked unconscious. Um,
And then Georgina pulled a Dennis and decided to heal someone else in the party while a character that I was playing was unconscious. But you know,
That happens multiple times.
nobody's bitter.
yeah.
Dennis, I get. Georgina,
That's fair. Mrs. Q spent most of the battle like sort of like tied up.
Yes, I was. This happens to me a lot.
Mhm.
I'm very useless in battle.
Through the
Damsel in distress.
through the long
Little bit.
exchange, it eventually got to a point where Kai started to freak out. It seemed like he was being overwhelmed by something evil that Apoc immediately picked up on. And so all the siblings tried to just like rush him and kind of hold him down and was telling us to get out of there. We booked it, but before we booked it, Elle, like, Elle and Evie had a little exchange about just like, did you get my letter? Or like, you should come find us. And then one of the siblings said, we will find you, just go. And so then we booked it out.
Yes, we did. And let me see. What else have you missed? Did you say that Kai was getting super smoky?
Yes, he was like being
major
consumed.
damage was happening.
He was being consumed by like shadow.
It was very scary.
And they just kept saying like, this has happened before, like we can take care of it, just please get out of here. We're trying to save you. We'll find you later, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I didn't get the impression that the "we'll find you later" was like, we'll catch up later. It was like, we'll find you later.
Yeah, we're going to continue this whole thing later, but just get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seemed like they didn't necessarily want to hurt us. They were prepared to hurt us if necessary, but what they really wanted was Sir Basil to agree to the terms because somebody told them that this spell would work.
Yeah.
I think that's
It was very intense, yes. And I definitely thought Georgina was going to leap across the table at me at one point.
No, not in real life.
that's how you know it's working.
Mm.
That's a feature.
I think I've created a scary villain. So you should all be at level 8 as you all have some bit of adrenaline rush as you run out of the House of Zogma back to the inn that you're staying at in the Canopy Market. You can all go ahead and take a long rest. But if there's anything you'd like to chat about or do before you go to sleep, we can kind of pick up there or pick up the next morning if you think you would just zonk right out.
Mhm.
Apoc passes out.
Okay.
Elle, what are you doing?
Well, she's not really sure. She's pretty bummed that Evie didn't come. She's really confused about what just happened, but she's also very tired. So if anything, she's probably going to sit and try to write in her book a little bit.
You okay, Elle?
Is making friends always this hard to do?
Well, I think
Like
that,
it must get easier as you get older, right?
Haha,
well,
jokes.
Elle, it's always hard making friends, whether you're young or old, but it's even harder to keep good ones. So when you find the precious few, hold on to them.
Would you say turning into an alligator and attacking someone you want to be your friend is a good thing to do?
Girl, that was badass. I would say do that every chance you get. If they can't love you at your worst, they they don't deserve you at your best.
Hey.
Love it.
I just hope that Evie isn't too scared of us and that Sir Basil doesn't try to hurt her. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but did Sir Basil do something pretty bad?
I don't know. Maybe we can talk to him tomorrow morning. He seemed pretty tired. It's a long day, but I don't know. Don't be afraid to ask him.
Well, I don't think I'm always the best at asking questions that are polite.
There's not enough time in this world to be polite all the time.
Okay. So why did you bite someone's face off tonight?
Yeah, about that. So, I don't know if you've seen when my skin gets all crystally, and I don't know if it's things I've been reading lately. Just this series really into like vampires, and
Oh, God.
this guy named Edward. No,
There it is.
Stop.
I don't know. Just when I'm in that I don't know, just kind of lose bearing on things a little bit, and I don't want to say I go a little feral, but in that moment I was scared too, and I didn't have time to make a decision, so I didn't have time to think through my decision. So I just made what I thought was the best in the moment and went with it. Didn't work out, but again, I picked the precious few.
Is this obsession of yours pretty new, or did it start when you were like a teenager?
You're gonna have a lot of obsessions as you grow up. It's okay to fall out of them. There's always new stuff to obsess over. Enjoy the ride while it lasts. And then I wink and it's like, I think we should probably go to bed.
She's gonna just keep kind of drawing. She's got very specific things that she's gonna be focused on her next couple entries into her book.
When you do get up, let me know. I'm gonna try some new makeup out tomorrow.
Ooh.
Elle's not sure how she feels about that.
All right. Mrs. Q, is there anything you would do before or just pass out?
I imagine, given that Mrs. Q had a level of exhaustion, that she is like probably like I imagine. Are we all in the same room? I can't remember if we were all staying in the same room or if we were.
We were in Aurora had her own room. And
True.
I think we were in
The bloody room.
Yes.
Hopefully the maid cleaned that up. I'm pretty sure I was bunking with Elle. So I imagine that I am in that room, but like dead to the world. Like just like snoring away in the corner. Yeah.
Okay.
You all thought it was Apoc that snored. This is you.
And old. Maybe
She's
she
a-
alleviated septum.
That's your CPAP machine.
That's good. How's Sir Basil feeling?
Remind me the time of day this is at right
Like 4 a.m.
now? Okay. Because my first thought was he just got out of this whole situation, like possibly just escaping, like the skin of his teeth, essentially. He is having to come to terms that Arna, who like was so close to his family, has been like playing his family this entire time. So I feel like his immediate thought would be, even though he could be tired, just like he has to get to his family. So he'd probably just book it to his family. Maybe like even though it's early morning, like he'd be like as quickly as he can get there, he'd be like banging on the door, being like yelling like would he say father? Would he say mother? How would we say it?
Papa!
It's like Papa, Papa, wake up, answer the door.
First, I'd like you to make me a Constitution saving throw if you are continuing to push through this
Yes.
night.
Okay. That's a unnatural 20.
Okay. Running off of pure adrenaline at this point, and literally nothing more than that. You are able to scurry your way through the somewhat starting to wake up city of Alderheart. Yeah, that's where you are. The bakery shops, you see a few employees starting to work their way in. You can start to smell the smell of rising dough as you pass through very quickly through the markets. Able to wind your way into the bright hollows and find the little kind of hobbit door in the hollows of your family's abode. And as you start to bang and yell out, seeing some of the early rising neighbors kind of give you a kind of scoffing look. You hear from behind the door the lock unclick and the face of your sister, Lavender, absolutely exhausted. Kind of almost at that point where the fur on her face is sort of in a cowlick, kind of bed-worn, like pillow smudged.
Yeah.
You can see the pattern from her.
Yeah,
comforter.
exactly.
There's some
Yeah, the
drop.
pattern from her comforter, exactly. As she sort of peeks through the door, the chain's still on, just kind of looking and bleary-eyed peering at you.
Mhm.
Basil? What's
Lavender,
going on
open the
here?
door. Open the door now.
Shh. Why?
Quickly,
Hold
there's
on.
home.
She closes it and you hear it open. And she kind of opens the door to let you in. She's got a nightgown or a robe thrown over her nightgown. And she just kind of looks at you, just you're gonna wake the neighbors and you're gonna wake mom and dad. Just come in.
He'll step in, clearly agitated, and he'll kind of hold her, kind of like, Lavender, look at me, look at me. We need to wake up mother and father now. We need to get you out of the house.
You can't. They're sleeping.
Lavender, look at me. I don't want to do you. So she's gonna say just dead stare in eyes. Look at me. We need to get them out of the house now. It is not safe. Please trust me.
Basil, they can't move very fast. They're sick. They're not supposed to go
Fine.
anywhere too far.
It's okay. We can help them, but we need to get out of the house. Please help me.
Your persuasion check.
Okay, I'm not gonna persuade them. Let's see what happens. A 10.
A 10.
Blech.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me.
No, no. I think Lavender is going to kind of like grab onto your hand, put the chain back on the door, and just. You can tell me first and we'll make a decision together, Basil. I was up really late last night. I didn't even know you were in town. Why didn't you come earlier? Could have used your help. Now you expect us to just get up and leave? What is going on?
Basil will just go through the whole thing, explaining what he found about Arna, and that Arna is part of Zogma, and that the whole Zogma family, like, literally tried to hurt his whole friend group and him, and that he doesn't think it's safe here. Wants to get them someplace safe.
What are you talking about? Zogma didn't have any kids. And Arna's been here for forever. He's my closest friend. Why are you doing this?
Let me speak to father.
Basil, he's sick and he's asleep.
Can I push past her and just go to wherever Basil's father's room would be?
You can do that. She's not very strong, so you can easily push past her. But you can certainly feel the atmosphere around her as you do. It's a small abode. It's not very big. You're able to kind of just quickly like pad up the 3 stairs in the home and walk down the hall towards your parents' room. And you do see your father and your mother still fast asleep. The room darkened, smelling of like a very fine kind of cinnamon nutmeg sort of mix.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of open the door a crack and just look at your sleeping parents, you see it kind of hits you the gray in their face, the frailty of them that you noticed before when you were here, but in a eyes closed sleeping state without the vigor of being awake. It strikes you that your parents are very frail and very old.
Okay. Maybe here, let's play it like this. Basil's standing at the doorway. He like, as soon as he catches a glimpse of his parents, he stops. And just seeing how frail they are, like he softens a little bit. Like up till now he was very agitated, like thinking about like I need to get them safe. Now all of a sudden his demeanor just as if he takes like a breath. He just looks at them. He'll turn back to Lavender and say, all right, we'll do it your way. We'll let them rest. But I need you to trust me. I'll come back in a few hours with help, and we need to move mother and father out of the house. Just please trust me. It may not make sense now, but I will explain everything as best I can. Just trust your big brother.
We'll see in a few hours, Basil.
He'll like, sort of like, I imagine like maybe he'll like go in for a hug, but then feel awkward about it, and as if he can't stop, and then he'll just pat Lavender on the shoulder, and he'll say, "See you in a few hours," and he'll rush out, get to the front door, close behind him, and head back to. I guess the group is all at the inn. Okay, yeah, I guess they'll just rush back to the inn with the plans of hopefully getting the group to help him, and hopefully in the morning seeing if he can get the council to help Titus family.
All right. With that, I'll say you fall into an uneasy rest. As you're all able to get your long rest. It was very early in the morning, so to get a full long rest, you're looking at like a noon kind of wake up sort of situation. But Apoc, since you were the first one that fell asleep, you kind of start to drift into that awake zone, not fully awake. And you swear you hear a little kind of buzzing or flying, but like you're not too sure if it's in the dream or real life. Until all of a sudden you do hear a voice kind of jumpstart you from your slumber. Captain, you gotta wake up.
Ah,
You gotta wake up, Captain. You gotta wake up.
Gladius, what?
I come bearing a message for you.
Oh,
Really nice lady bearing a message for you. Good
Alright.
morning.
okay, what? All right.
Are you
soldier.
awake? She wanted to know if you were awake.
Yes, I am awake. Soldier, report.
Found a really nice lady. Looked like she had some rosé on her cheeks. She said today was the day you guys were going to leave. Wondering where you were. She found me. She was able to send me back because I was very, very lost. This tree is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, told me that when you're ready, she's ready and waiting for you. So time to leave because she said it was urgent and 2 days have passed. And
Yeah. Did you get a name? Did you get a name? Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll go find her. Thanks. Yeah, I know it's late. We were tired. It was a long night. I can't say that to her. She's right there.
Elle has woken up at this moment, is just watching Apoc with one eye open, just talking to basically no one because she can't see Claudius, I would think.
This just goes on for like another 10 minutes. Apoc takes a swig of coffee. Just naturally passes it over to Elle.
Her eyes aren't even open, she just reaches out and takes it.
Right, as you are all slowly start to come to consciousness, one by one. Apoc passing the coffee around for those who need it or those who want it. But you're all able to kind of regroup this morning. Well, this morning. It is noon now.
It's morning somewhere.
It's morning somewhere. And as you all kind of shake off the exhaustion, shake off the events of the night before in however you're currently feeling, the day is yours. At least in this first little bit of time upon waking.
I imagine Sir Basil will be like just very anxious that morning and would just be like kind of gathering the group and saying like, I need your help. We with everything that happened last night, I don't feel safe where my family is. Will you help me get them out of that house and bring them to the council?
That seems reasonable.
Well, will you help me?
Yep, I will.
What? Get you out of that.
My parents.
Have you had your coffee at Apoc?
What's the council gonna do with your parents?
Protect them. If the Zogma family is still alive, and they clearly have a vendetta against me, and all this time Arna has been playing in disguise, helping my parents, I don't feel safe leaving them there. I need to know that they're protected before we leave the city.
Well, Basil, up until last night, had Arna done anything bad to your parents?
Not that I know of. When I first met her, all I knew is that she was my parents' helper. Seemed to be have a great relationship with Lavender. But to find out that all this time she's been a Zogma playing them, I don't know what to think. But I would feel a lot better getting them out of that house.
Well, do you think she could be two things? Do you think she could be a Zogma but still also care about your family?
Perhaps. But I won't know until I do something. similar to when I spoke with Lavender this morning. She had no idea about the Zogma children. And then when I think back, I can't remember them either. How could it be all this time? There were so many of them, a whole family, and all I can remember is Zogma Senior. We would have all lived in the same house. I should have seen them, but I can't recall any of them.
Could it be that you were under the kind of spell that they were trying to put you under, where you couldn't remember them?
Is that a thing? Is that possible?
I mean, they were trying to do it to you.
How would I know if I'm under a spell? How would I know if my family's under a spell? But none of us.
Hold on. This sounds like a question for Aurora.
So I'm specifically staying out of this because I don't think I would be there. I think I would have spent like an extra hour or so getting ready.
I'm still knocking on your door.
You just like, I'll be down I'll be down in a second. I'll be with you. Just don't leave without me. And I'll take quite a bit of time. Eventually I do emerge. I've got like smoky eye makeup. I've got like dark, like very dark red, almost black lipstick. I've got a new dress, which I would say is like a black t-shirt crop top, and like a choker with a sapphire in the middle. The crop top's revealing just a little bit, and then there's the skirt. It's not a mini skirt, but it does make its way about halfway down the thigh.
You're pulling out this out.
I've got over the knee thigh or over the knee boots, with just a small wedge heel.
The fans are gonna run wild.
It's like a cross between Amy Lee and Haley Williams kind of vibe.
Did you dye your hair?
No, it's all white, and then it's just immaculate. Everything looks like I look like as fresh as can be in the morning, despite of how rough a night it was before. But you notice a little bit of the smoky eye extends beyond the eye, and it's almost like an aura around me. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys.
Back in my day, we just used charcoal from the fire.
That's a hard to come by spell component, so don't want to waste that.
She's the girl who watches one YouTube tutorial and can do it like perfectly the first time.
Yeah.
We're talking about last night and everything that went down. I don't feel safe leaving my parents in their home, knowing what we learned about Arna. And I'm asking the group if they would help me move my family out of that.
Friends don't make friends move.
I could really use your help, though.
Be happy to.
Maybe you can also help me with this. When I spoke to Lavender this morning, she couldn't remember anything about the Zogma children. And the more that I think of it, before last night, I had no recollection of them, even though we would have grown up in the same house. I must have seen them, but
maybe whatever magic they were going to have us forget about you was used to forget about them. Maybe it's just a very powerful modify memory spell. Or
how would we?
Everything last night was an illusion. Really, could be anything. Sorry, really, it could be anything.
Is there any way to find out for sure? Do you know of any spell or magic that we can use to figure it out?
Yeah, but I didn't prepare it today.
Okay.
What kind of thing would it be, Aurora?
Like a divination spell might give us an opportunity to speak to somebody that would know it, but I'd have to wait till tomorrow to be able to use that.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, if you are able to help me,
Do
I
we even
would
have?
be forever in your favor,
In your debt?
in your debt. Would you be willing to help me with my family?
I think we have time for that.
They're waiting for us. We just got a message this morning. Our time here is up. We
I know,
gotta
I
do the
know.
chicken tenders.
But I hope it won't take long. We just need to get them out. We can go to the council, and from there, I will speak to them and see if they can do anything to help my family.
How about this? We could have one group go up to meet the council, and the other group go and like explain the situation, and then the other group goes and gets your parents to bring them to the council, so they already have wind of our coming with an extra request.
We haven't learned our lesson, have we?
That sounds great. Apoc, let's go.
Sure, where are we going?
We're gonna go to the chicken tenders.
Okay.
Okay, yep. Though you two are definitely the people I would have chosen for this. So, yep, that's great. You go ahead.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're going to say?
Yeah. We're there to help.
Okay, just checking.
Are we bringing up the whole Zogma thing early, or are we letting Basil talk about that? Or the breaking and entering into the house? Or
We'll tell them people are on the way. They might know about the house already. Claudius was there this morning. So
Yes, we should.
Mrs. Quillam, did you want me to go with these two?
I mean, I don't know if moving is gonna, ruin your fit. So maybe you go ahead and Basil and I will go get the
Just me and another old
The old
person.
I was
folks.
gonna say
the oldest people?
we have the smallest person and the oldest person. We're gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
what is your plan for your family?
I just want to get them out of that house. If they're in the protection of the council, I don't know where they can stay, but as long as they're in the protection of the council, the Zogma family can't get them.
Okay, what's the council? They're not fighters.
Yes, but they're powerful spellcasters, or they have the perch guard. They have a means to protect them.
Yeah, but okay. I'm not gonna beat around the bush or anything, but I don't think they cared that much about humble folk or making sure that a few of them are okay. You've seen what it looks like down there, right?
Sir Basil will just kind of like nod his head.
Perhaps
I still have to try to do something.
I mean, we're helping them out by going to try and deal with the issues outside the city. Perhaps this can be the way that they can help us out.
We can ask.
We can ask for sure.
Alternatively, we ask first and then go get your family. As
So
opposed
do you have money? I don't have any more money.
No.
Where are they gonna stay? You're just gonna bring them to the council chamber?
Listen, I was more going to just figure it out as we went along.
What if Aurora, could they crash at your place?
Well, it's not really my place anymore. I'm with you guys, right?
So there's a free room?
No, they don't harbor refugees or people without homes or lesser folk. So,
What do you mean by lesser folk?
Don't
like-
take that something.
well, like non-Vulpins.
Hmm.
Ouch.
What chihuahuas?
It's just what the Vulpin backstory said.
All right, Mrs. Q, I think you're right. Let's go to the council first.
Yes.
I will ask, and then from there seek assistance from my
All
family.
right. Let's do it. Is there anything we need to pick up on our way upwards?
I think if I'm gonna be rocking this look, you guys are gonna need to get some fits that complement the overall aesthetic.
What's wrong with my apron?
Nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
my
It's-
outfit's great.
you can just
Elle.
maybe accessorize it a little bit more, a little touched up. But if you
I
want
have
to,
clothes.
Elle,
Those
Elle,
are good clothes.
Sir Basil's just gonna close his helmet.
we can get long dark cloaks.
Ooh, I like that.
that would be pretty cool.
Can I have
Knee-high
flowers on it?
boots with spikes.
Knee-high boots with spikes.
It'll go perfect with my rainbow tutu.
Actually, it wouldn't be that bad.
Actually look pretty cute.
I'll be so inconspicuous.
Yep.
Yeah, because if your group is anything, it's inconspicuous. So what's the plan here, folks?
To the council chamber.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if we happen to pass a thrift store on the way where we could pick up, some rags.
Off-brand clothing from Zion.
Why not?
Why
Why-
not? Please.
As you leave the inn in the Canopy Market, I will say, yeah, there is a Thrifted Treasures pop-up shop.
Tell me about it. I want to know about it. What's it called?
Thrifted Treasures pop-up shop. But
Uh,
like pop is spelt like POPPE kind of
Ooh.
situation.
Yes.
No, wait, the shop. Never mind. That's fine. And it has like Zari clothing and more Coco Chanel, and it's got Dolce and Cabana and like all of the like Broadway and off Broadway kind of situation going on, and
Nice.
got like some alternative. It's got like treasures from, you don't even recognize the cultures that these treasures are from. They are certainly not Humblewoodian.
Could I get like pince-nez glasses?
Pince-nez?
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 You asked for it, and the vendor, this like very turkey-esque kind of gallus, with like the really big like little gobbler thing,
Yeah.
waddle.
Waddle.
Yeah. Who himself has a pair of like purple pomps on his beak. Kind of opens this box, and it's got like every single color of the rainbow and then some that you can choose from.
Nice.
You could pick whatever color pont snout you want.
Black.
Are all of us currently at the thrift store together?
Yeah.
If you want to be at the thrift store, you're at the thrift store. I'm gonna have to write this down after. What are you looking for, Elle?
Not looking for anything. She's just gonna stand with Aurora, and as we watch Apoc like pick out these ridiculous glasses, she's gonna just turn to Aurora and just ask, "So, did you dress up nice this morning to impress Apoc, or because you wanted to impress yourself?"
Well, Elle,
Mm.
the thing about looking good is to basically show how happy you are with yourself. So it's definitely for me.
Okay.
You should never dress up for somebody else. They should love you for who you are. Or like you for whoever you are. Or just appreciate you as a friend for whoever you are.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh, last night was pretty rough and got me thinking about some things, and I think I'm just reinventing Aurora. If you know what I mean. I think all these bright colors may have attracted too much attention to me, and maybe this darker look is more my vibe now.
Are we like in the thrift store? Like
So
all-
it's like a kiosk in the mall kind of situation. So you're all kind of gathered around, and unless Elle and Aurora are having this off to the side, you're all sort of milling about here. I'll leave it up to Elle and Aurora if they would have stepped away.
I think it'd be a little off to the side because she wanted to ask Aurora something about Apoc without Apoc hearing.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I will just say, I don't entirely know what you mean, but I maybe get it.
You'll get it more as you get older.
Mrs. Quillam really wants to have like heard just a small portion of this so that she can tell the story about when she was younger and she got frosted tipped quills.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Yes!
How reinventing yourself is a lot of fun, and she totally supports Elle in buying something unique that really speaks to her.
Very nice. Very nice.
You could take an inspiration point for that because I really like the frosted tipped quills. That's so good.
Thank you.
We
I
all
think
went
it's
through that.
the best inspiration point in this thing. How do I put it in here? Do you know?
Well, all this considered, Elle is now having a bit of an existential crisis as to who she is and what her look says about her as she looks down at her giant tutu.
Well, Elle, the best thing about it is as you get older, what your look can change, and it's okay to change. And you can be a lot of different things over your course of the life. In fact, it's better to be a lot of different things. So don't worry about the now. Enjoy the now, and then enjoy tomorrow and the day after.
She's gonna go and look through some of the stuff on the racks. Like, she's gonna look for kind of the most colorful things. She doesn't necessarily even need to know what it is.
The most colorful thing here, there are a few like brighter colored fabrics like robes and dresses and like bags and stuff like that, but the most colorful thing that catches your eye is this long the longest scarf you've ever seen. And it is a patterned scarf. So every chunk is a different, every section is just this different threading of fabric, and it is the most haphazard, not coordinated at all. And this thing is long. It's been looped around the coat hook a couple times, and it is still dragging on the ground. We're talking like Doctor Who long.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Is the shop vendor nearby?
Oh my
Uh,
God.
No, he's currently chatting Apoc up, trying to pick the right Ponce snout glasses.
All right. So, all right. Well, this thing's gonna go in her purse or her backpack now.
Should I get it with rims or without rims?
Well, you know, it's not the rims, it's actually the glass on the inside. If you need any type of magnification, you'll be able to find it, yeah?
I can see in the distance.
If you want, or you can get one for closer reading, or...
I don't read much.
Well, then you don't need it for up close reading. You can get it like a binoculars, you know?
Which one makes me look older?
This one.
All right.
Make a stealth check, Elle.
Okay. 12 plus stealth. Where's my stealth? Stealth. 13.
Don't you have the gloves?
But that's sleight of hand, not stealth. Can
Oh,
it be
I'm sorry. No, that's on me. You're thieving, so it is sleight of hand. That's on me. I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's been a while. That's on me.
Been a while.
Sleight of hand to steal something.
Okay, so 12 plus 6, 18.
18. Okay, I'm gonna pull up NPC stat block. Oh, it's right here.
For specific thing that I look for.
We're looking for-
There was like the big stupid big puffer jackets.
All right. So as you go to try and stealth, this is like we're talking like a scarf, you know?
Yeah, she's just like
Yes.
Be embarrassing.
You start at one end and
feeding
you're
it
like
in.
looking over your shoulder and you're just like
Once exactly.
and it's now sticking out of your bag, and then you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, and it thankfully this particular Gallus doesn't notice you. What did you roll again?
18 total.
18 total. And you are able to, there are passerbys because it's like, 1 p.m. sort of situation, but you're able to almost hide amongst the vintage racks that he has and just very, not quickly, but consistently shove this massive scarf into your bag. And now it's like lumpy. Like the bag itself is lumpy and oblong, but you're able to successfully shove it into your bag. All right. Is there anything else you are looking for at the, I don't remember what it's called, Thrifted Treasures pop-up shop?
Yes, I'm looking for a specific thing, but I'm struggling to find exactly what I want.
I'll buy you time. So I'm gonna get just a second outfit for when I'm if I'm gonna change into something else. It'll be a white collared, black button up like midi dress. But it's like it's got not quite balloon sleeves, but like a little bit balloony at the shoulders, and like when you look close, it looks like white polka dots all over it, but when you look close, there are little snowflakes, unique snowflakes all the way across.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's like a couple to choose from at this place.
Oh, there you go.
I love how when you were describing it, like Steph and Andrea were just like, yeah, like you were picturing it, and the guys were just like,
So Mrs. Q goes to, sorry, are you done? Aurora? Has Aurora found her thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mrs. Q is like, the frosted tips thing was like back when she was young and she lived in a very rural community and didn't know anything about fashion. And then she moved to another rural community and still knows nothing about fashion and is also like a million years old. So she has come across the rack that has like puffer jackets on it, which she thinks is a really smart idea because it looks very warm and she's all about practicality. So she has picked a few and she will show you. I just got these from like the Milan Fashion Week or whatever, but she's gonna ask which one she should get because she thinks they all look very practical and warm.
I love how you're gonna be heading to something called the Scorched Grove.
She's just like, she like is thinking like, oh, like back in the day when she was young and adventurous, and she's like, yeah, I should get myself something practical. Here are her options.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I want the first one so bad.
Isn't that the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen? But I feel like Mrs. Q would think that that is a really good idea.
Yeah. Look at this one. Dang.
I don't know what to do with this information.
I feel like the inside's got to be leather armored just to protect against your own quills.
Yeah, let's assume that they're like somewhat, modular for quilts.
I like the third one because you could be like one of those fish that are super small, but that as soon as your quills get like angry, you just puff up.
Like a puffer fish.
third one just looks like she's wearing a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
I like the fourth one because it looks like it's a giant garbage bag, but it has a little more shape and it's regal, like you have a train and a hood.
And you need lifts to be able to wear it properly.
Yes.
Damn, I need some platform shoes.
The fourth one, what like Queen Amidala had in the first drawer.
It kind of does have that vibe.
Oh boy.
Mrs. Q tries each of them on, and there's some like Milan Fashion Week music playing in the background while she like shows you, and she is like, okay, guys, I think they all look really warm, but which one do you think, looks best on me?
Oh my god, I love them all. Get them all. We'll take them with us.
They see that's not practical. I need practical.
That sounds like you.
Yeah. Elle, what do you?
Basil,
Go ahead, say it.
You can get multiple. Whatever one you don't like, we can put Sir Basil's family in. They can keep warm for the winter.
Oh my god.
Hey now.
Why, you don't like them?
No, they're fine, Mrs. Q.
No, but
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
18 plus 3 for 21.
How's Basil feeling?
He's just lying through his teeth. He just wants to get out of there.
Elle notices this, but won't rat him out.
okay, all for number one say aye.
I think this is a Mrs. Quillam decision.
I am 80-something years old.
You've got experience.
Oh, I'm like 150 years old or something.
Okay,
Excuse
you'll
me.
forget soon enough.
You're over 400 years old.
Thank you. That's what I figured. I'm really old. I'm gonna say, let's go with number 4. I feel like it's cloak-like, but practical. It's like a warm cloak, basically.
An excellent choice, madame. Here you go. Here you go. It looks perfect on you. It goes well with your eyes.
She puts it on, and there's like 3 feet of puffer jacket on the floor behind her because she's too short. She likes it that way.
Now make sure if you need anything else, you'll be able to come back. I will only be here for another day or two. So remember what was it called again?
Thrifty treasure.
Thrifted treasure pop-up shop.
Thrifted Treasures pop-up shop.
Nice.
What's your name?
Robert.
Is this the same Robert of Robert Plant Shop?
I need like a list of just random names that I could just assign at will.
I mean,
I don't have
multiple people can have the same name. It's not.
I really hope no other Roberts come into your shop. You might lose a few things.
Oh,
I just got it.
Oh man, I hurt. All right. As you're all able to add the pince snout, and anything else you wanted to find to your inventory. Just to check in, do we need a 5-minute body break, couple-minute body break, or are we good to keep pushing through?
Body break.
Body break?
I'm okay.
Okay, we're good to keep going, it sounds like. So I'm sorry, who is heading where and where are we going?
So
We
we're
decided we're all going to the council chamber.
We're all going to the
together.
council chamber. Okay. As you take your new purchases with you, are you wearing the palm snout?
Yes.
Okay. Elle has the scarf tucked in. Aurora has her spare change of clothes, I assume tucked in your bag, since you just changed clothes. And Mrs. Q wearing the puffer jacket. Oh, yeah. You get a couple strange looks from some of the other denizens of Alderheart, especially in this upper, excuse me, Canopy Market and Canopy area. where it is a little more high fashion, a little more of the well-off folks this high up into the tree, primarily bird folk because you are so high up, and any fall from this height would not be great. So those who can glide are a little more prominent in this upper ring of the tree. But you were able to make your way up the few rings between the canopy market and the council kind of plaza. The office of the perch guard there, the road leading down towards where the House of Zogma and Aurora's family home is, that you were here not 8-9 hours ago. And actually 24 hours ago, sitting and having lunch while chatting with Astra and Aelin, the two tenders, a very old druidic order in this world. Before the events of the evening started playing out. It does take, as you sort of enter into the plaza, you do immediately see actually Astra, Aelin, the two twin doves, the like peach in their, or sorry, the rosiness in their cheeks and the like peach feathers kind of coming down their necks, the two mourning doves. You also see You also see the younger, very pigeon-esque tender that had come with Astra, Trevor, who is still a little more reserved, kind of chatting with Astra and Aelin in robes of blue and green. You also see the speaker, or it wouldn't be the speaker yet. No, she would be here. Speaker Bitta, the white peahen, as well as Bertolt, the raptor folk of Humblewood. You also see a very familiar face of a very tall servant female, who you recognize as Brenna Ceridian.
Yay!
Standing with the council, towering very high above the council, only actually rivaled by Astra in height. Sort of discussing, almost in a hushed tone, at the steps to the entrance of the Colosseum for the council chambers. As you make your approach, you actually see Brenna is the first one to see you, sword on her hip, but for the very first time noticing that she is not wearing her heavy armor and has instead chosen a very kind of pale yellow tunic to walk around Humblewood, or walk around Alderheart in. And as she sees you all, you do see the recognition kind of cross her face as she raises a hand, not quite smiling, but definitely having a softer expression as she recognizes your crew. Feels like it's been quite some time, but it's only been a couple days. Hi, Elle. You all look nice. I can't lie to you. You look weird. You look weird.
We stopped in a shop on our way up.
Uh-huh.
Picked up
But
some.
it's 99 copper.
Actually kind of a lot. Good to see you're all still alive. I'm doing fine.
Well, by the skin of our teeth, it's been a rough few days.
Is
It's been
Ajax,
about... What's that, Basil?
is Ajax not with you?
Ajax has decided to stay in Bracken Mill for a little bit, ever since Quill decided to peace out. They've kind of needed somebody to direct their rebuilding. I personally can't stand faith-based communities, so Ajax decided to stay in my stead. And I chose to come here with the speaker. A little bit of extra protection for the road never hurt, but seems like we have some other enemies we got to deal with. Not really a bandit thing anymore.
I'm sure he'll do an excellent job there. And we are very happy to have you here.
Great. Can't imagine why. I hope it's good and not work for me. As you see Astra, Aelin, and the others open up their circle to kind of receive you. Aelin and Astra looking far more well rested, and Trevor looking far more well rested. The speaker looking a little bit fatigued. And Bertolt's just always the very wide-eyed, kind of perky self, ready to sort of take in everything. It's very nice to see you all again. I see you got my message. Claudius is a wonderful little flea.
Isn't he a delight?
He's very, very funny.
You should meet his brother.
I would absolutely love that on the road. That sounds wonderful. So I take it you're all good to go. It seems you are outfitted appropriately.
You never know when there's going to be a cold night.
You'll see Sir Basil kind of maybe because your jacket's blocking, just push past it. Right?
That's exactly how big I want it to be.
Yeah. And, actually, if I may, I have a request, but I don't know if it's appropriate.
A request. This is Astra speaking, so a request of us as the tenders.
I require the assistance of tenders or the council.
What is it you need?
What do you know of the Zogma house?
You see Astra, Brenna, kind of a blank sort of stare. Aelin even looking a little confused as they kind of look side to side. You do see the speaker just sounds familiar. And it is actually Bertolt who speaks up and just, I feel like the house, one of the more prominent families, I think, in Alderheart, more of a merchant, but I believe he was vanished. He left and lost, something like that. It was, 20, 30 years ago now? As far as I know, the house has been abandoned.
Do you know anything of Zogma having a family? Children?
I know the name from old businesses, not really anything more. Why?
In fact, last night, our group was attacked by a group claiming to be from the House of Zogma, and only realizing that one of these members have been pretending to be a helper in my family's home. And I gave you my word that I would go out on this journey to the Scorched Grove with you, but I can't in good conscience leave my family alone here, especially if there's risk of the Zogma group getting to them. If it is not too much to ask, I would love the assistance of the council to protect them.
I need you to make me a persuasion check.
My persuasion's terrible.
I cast guidance.
What's that?
Oh,
What's that mean?
You get to add a d4 to your roll.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Oh, jeez Louise.
Add the D4.
That's a terrible.
Ah.
So that's only a 9.
9. Okay.
Before, are you okay if I cut in?
By all means.
My friend here, he's covering up a bit of a hidden truth, something he didn't want to lay out, but I figure, you know me, you know my family, we're probably not on the up and up. He's trying to cover for me. My family is going after his, and I would appreciate if you guys could protect Sir Basil's parents for untoward activity. I'm kind of breaking out from the Winters clan, and I can maybe offer some assistance down the road, but time's pressing, and we need this, at least this added safety and acknowledgement from you guys if we're going to go out and, well, save the world.
I will need a persuasion check from you as well.
That is full out deception.
Or sorry, deception, yes. It feels like it's been an eternity since I've done this, so.
Dang.
That's a 30.
Wow.
A nat 20 plus 10.
Oh.
My goodness.
Whoa.
Wow! Level 8.
Let's go.
I think it was the highest roll we've had in this campaign. Although, apologies for the... I have to relearn this stuff. Where the Zogma family name... Sorry?
Sorry, I was just making a comment like, that charisma. Woo.
Where the Zogma family name did not really strike the chord you were hoping for, Basil. The mention of the Winters clan definitely strikes a chord through Bertolt, through the speaker, and even through Brenna Ceridian. And as you name drop so casually, you see all of them kind of react to it.
I want
Sort of look from...
I want to turn to Basil and is like, just like reading them, Basil, your family is going to be fine.
So I was just gonna look at Aurora, look back at the council, look at Aurora, and just like whisper or like mouth, thank you.
You see Brenna, speaker, if I might. You're part of the Winters clan?
I am the future of the Winters clan.
I've lost a lot of good people to the Winters clan.
Yeah, probably.
You're trying to strike out on your own?
I'm trying to fix our legacy. Legacy.
Good luck with that, kid. You're biting off way more than you can chew there.
Well, better start chewing.
If your family's really in danger, Basil, I'll check on them. Personally. The Winters clan is creative.
Find a
If you're
safe
traveling with one, I hope you know who she is.
Find a safe spot for them.
Brenna kind of looks at you because she doesn't really know you. And then she looks back to Basil. You have my word.
And who just like hand on his heart, thank you. You have no idea how much this means.
I'll move them all to a safe spot. Just tell me where they live. Give me a message, actually, to send to them from you so that they know I'm not lying.
Like a verbal message or like a written message?
Anything you think that, who am I bringing here? Like your parents, your sisters? Like,
My two parents and my sister Lavender.
okay. Anything you think that they'll believe comes from you to let me get them out of the house.
You want me to have a message sent to the avium so when your other sisters come back, they don't wonder where your parents have gone.
Yeah, okay, sure. Trying to think, what would they know it's me?
Like a token, a word. If someone weird showed up at my door saying we had to leave, I wouldn't believe him. That's all I'm thinking of, Basil.
I didn't think about this in my backstory.
If you want time to think about it, it's okay.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I assume so Basil will be like, yes, he kind of like steps aside for a little bit to like prepare messages.
Okay. As you're doing that, the rest of you, except for Basil, will notice that Brenna is now very much clocking any movement Aurora makes out of the corner of her eye. And Astra kind of sensing, not being fully in the know about the politics here in Alderheart, since she never quite frequents here. More kind of looks to each of you and okay, so when we're ready then, are any of you afraid of heights or flying? It is the fastest way to get to where we're going. Yes, Elle? You're afraid of heights?
No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Okay, so I guess when you're ready, if you're ready, the plan for today is to try and fly as far as possible and bed down for the evening about halfway to the edge of the Scorched Grove. We are heading towards one of the main tender encampments there. It's how we try to keep the edge of the grove from spreading, and we've had to move the camp back quite a bit and quite often recently because of the expansion of the grove. So it only does take us 2 days as long as we are able to fly for part of it. Trevor and I are able to kind of accommodate all of you onto our backs. But only for certain periods of time. We only have about 2 to 3 hours of flight before we have to go on foot. So we'll start flying, and then depending on how the day goes, we'll have to either continue or touch down and start to walk for the rest of the day, as long as you are okay with that. Basil, when you're ready. As long as you're all ready.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Anybody else got that feeling?
Yes.
Unplug the iron. Turn off the lights.
We forgot to pay our tab.
Clean the
Elle,
L rooms.
Elle kind of wonders, this is the first time they've seen Ceridian since Brackenmill? Or before Brackenmill?
Since Brackenmill. That was the last time you really saw her. It's been about just over a week, I think, at this point.
Does Elle get any notion that there's any chance to talk to Ceridian on her own or ask her or something?
You do see as Astra and Trevor are kind of starting to chat with themselves about the best, route to take. They kind of like open up a very sort of primitive hand-drawn map and are showing Apoc and Mrs. Q and Basil sort of the area and making a plan with the council. You do see Ceridian kind of listening as well, but easy enough to just tap and pull her away if you'd like.
Yeah, she'd like to just kind of pull her aside if she will talk with her.
Yeah. What's she kind of really has to kneel down to kind of get to your level. She's very tall.
Well, first Elle wants to show her scarf. Look at my scarf.
Very colorful. Very nice. She kind of gives you like an awkward pat.
Have you talked to the bird lady at all about anything else the tenders are looking for?
The bird lady?
She'll tilt her head toward Astra and Ailing.
Oh. I kind of just arrived late yesterday evening. I've been trying to get as much information as possible. It sounds like she's just going to take you into the grove at your guys' request.
Are you coming with us?
I'm not. I'm gonna stay here. There's still some tensions between, things aren't fully smoothed over in the mountains or in Bracken.
Have you heard from anyone in the mountains since we saw you?
Are you asking about Emrys?
Maybe.
Emma showed up in Brackenville before I left. We kind of called for a little party to come out. She kind of asked me if I had heard from you then too. She's doing just fine, Elle. She said she learned something new where she'd be able to hopefully talk to you soon. So if I did see you, I was supposed to send you that message.
I was gonna get like again. I don't know if Pigeon's gonna blush, but she would be blushing. She's
Thankfully,
gonna
your
kind of.
feathers kind of cover a lot of that.
She's gonna kind of look over at Astra again. So, if you're staying here, could you try to figure something out for me? The tall
I
bird.
can try.
The tall bird said something about children of the elements, and I think it has to do with me, and it has to do with Emrys, but I'm not sure if what she's thinking is a good plan, or what her plan at all is.
I can. Do you want me to just try and find out if she's got one? Or
If
just
you
what
can.
she needs?
Maybe a bit of both?
I'm not really the scholarly type, Elle, but I'll. How about this? I'll do what I can.
Yeah, you can just kind of talk to her and get any kind of, without telling her, but I just kind of need to know. I'm starting to gather these kids, and I don't really know how to lead them.
There is a look of confusion on Sarita or Brenna's face. Okay. Let me see if I can make some friends in high places and see if I can get you some answers and how to send you those answers. There's mages around. I think Astra's going with you. She's not staying. You know that, right?
I know, but I don't know if I trust her. And I kind of trust you a little bit more because I know you care about Emrys.
Good to be suspicious. That'll keep you alive. You're surrounded by really powerful friends here, Elle. I think you're gonna be okay. Stay
Okay.
suspicious.
I will.
I will do what I can. A friend of Emrys is a friend of ours, so.
If you find out anything, just write me a letter because letters always go where they're supposed to.
I will do just that.
Okay. Elle's gonna just try to toss her scarf over her shoulder, but it's really long, and go back to the kitchen.
I'll say you get it, but it's like 5 feet behind you on the ground kind of situation.
Question: Who's longer, the scarf or the puffer jacket?
The scarf.
Ooh.
Really?
This scarf is long. Like, I will pull up what I'm thinking of, and it's a long ass scarf.
Are you
It's
thinking
an
of the Doctor
infinity-
Who stuff?
I'm thinking of the Doctor Who scarf, yes.
It's an infinity scarf. It's just not tucked at each end. It is literally just going.
Yep.
What's that movie or show where it's like the kid with the scarf, but and all you can see is their eyes because it's like so big.
Home Alone.
Is it Home Alone? Okay.
It does have
The
a pretty.
little boy in Home Alone, I thought had that.
It's like it's a little. All you see is the eyes.
Or are you thinking like You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, Kid? That movie.
Maybe.
Like little Ralphie from Christmas Story.
Maybe. I think it's actually. Yeah. Well, I'll look it up. But
As this hushed conversation between the two of you kind of comes to a close, the scarf trailing behind you, you do hear Brenna actually kind of chuckle a little bit at the sight of this tiny little dove waddling away like that. You come back to where Astra and Aelin, Trevor, the whole group are looking over this map, and you hear Trevor just say,
So this is where I think I saw the thing moving in the Scorched Grove, but that's still going to take us a little bit longer to get there. So I really do think Astra's right. I think we have to just fly to the camp and kind of go from there.
You see everyone kind of just start to nod a bit, and Astra, sort of satisfied, the like mantle that the mantle that she wears of like just very delicately placed twigs held together with like a sticky moss, very handmade, very organic. Just look up at your return and Ceridian's return, and are we ready to go?
Sir Basil will hand Ceridian 2 quick letters that he wrote up. One to his parents, and then one that hopefully they can send to Lavender and Sage at the Avian. And he'll say, with these letters, please also deliver the message. The best herb gardens always have tarragon, fennel, lavender, sage, lemongrass, thyme, peppermint, and a lot of basil. See you soon. Please be safe.
Are we sending letters?
You see Brenna take the letters, try and remember what it is you're saying as you list off like 90% of a spice cupboard. Realize she can't remember it and quickly like search for a quill, take one off of Bertolt's hand.
Sir Basil will help write it down. Yeah.
Here, you can use Borlaug stationery.
Oh, perfect.
I've got lots.
This is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Can I write a letter? Or do you do mail to the Avium?
No.
Okay.
Hey, can you
Aurora,
send a
you
letter
would-
down south to my family?
I can drop it off at the mailbox on my way to go and save Basil's family's life. Apoc.
Thanks.
Guys, we went by a post office or a post box. All you need to do is put the letters in, and they always end up where they're supposed to go.
Thank you, Elle.
That's what my dad says.
Can you put this letter in the mailbox for me since we're going?
No.
Okay.
You actually write a letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Doing well.
Hi.
Going off to save the world.
XOXO.
XOXO gossip board.
Oh my god. Love it.
Missing something?
Yeah.
Okay.
TV shows in the 2000s.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Gossip Girl? You ever watched?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, you are not missing out.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Handing off your letters. Ceridian very much not having it with yours, Aurora. Good luck, you guys. Hope to see you when you get back. If you don't get back, then the next lifetime. Hope to see you there.
You as well. Excellent.
Be safe.
He hands her a cookie. Like, slyly. Says, I think you need this.
You trying to hide that you have cookies?
I always have cookies.
Safe travels, guys. As she will turn on her heels and actually walk away before you do. Cookie in hand, letters in the other hand. You see Astra and Aelin kind of just in an embrace, the sisters saying goodbye once again before holding each other at arm's length, and Astra kind of giving one final squeeze to Aelin's shoulders before turning to all of you.
So, we're anxious to get going. We are slowly losing daylight, and it's going to take us a little bit longer. We'll be spending 2 nights out in the forest now, since we're leaving a little bit later than expected. So we are going to have to take the fast way off of this tree, which means we are going to be going up to the very top.
Oh.
So if you're ready, follow me. As she starts to very quickly strut to inside the Colosseum, and around the whole outside of a chamber you're now more and more familiar with, as this is the 3rd or 4th time that you've been here. Trevor taking up the rear of all of you. Just stop me if you do want to do anything.
Elle's gonna walk beside Trevor and just continually tell him, like, I've never met a bird named Trevor. I just think it's the funniest name, just the whole time.
You get some giggles, some not, and he's trying to be somber, knowing what you're about to fly into, but also kind of getting the vibe you're bringing. Very a little on the introverted side for this guy. But Astra does lead you to the very back of the council chambers, this round Colosseum-esque structure. And as she does, you notice that there is almost like a turret, a spiral staircase that just continuously spirals up and up and up, farther up into the leaves and the branches of the Tree of Alderheart. And as you start to climb, you are very high up, but even as you start to climb by the second sort of row, you start to feel a little more dizzy for a moment as you just kind of adjust to the altitude change this high up. And as you make it to the very top, you hear Astra kind of stop and let out just a sigh of relief. And you follow out behind her onto this parapet adjacent, I'm going to say. It's not so much for defense as it is. The best word that comes to your mind is for landing. And as you look out, you see a few massive leaves of the Tree of Alderheart beside you, below you, and nothing but the horizon, 360 degrees around you, as you're at the very, very tippity top of this tree. The only thing taller than you is a few stray branches behind you. Oh, that's you. And as you feel the wind this high up start to ruffle the fur and the feathers on your face, the crop top and skirt kind of flowing around your figure, the tutu flapping in the wind, the coat too heavy to actually be affected by the wind up here. Yeah. The pince-nez, pince-snout firmly in place. You see Trevor take his place beside Astra and kind of turn around, for the very first time, an actual grin on his face. If birds could smile. And Astra kind of turning to look at you all, and I know we just met, so I don't think I can just say to trust me and jump. Trevor and I we follow the path of druids before us, meaning we are more than just caretakers of the land. We can be one with them. We are going to jump, and we are going to transform into giant eagles that can take us at least for 1 hour of flight. Now, normally we would just ask everyone we're going to be carrying to jump as well, and we would catch them, since it is quite exhilarating the first time. But in this case, I think it's best that we transform one at a time, and you can just crawl onto our backs. We know where we're going. We're going to be able to get you there safely. You won't be able to talk to us when we're in that form, or at least we won't be able to talk back to you, but we'll understand everything you're saying. If you see something, please tell us so we can at least avoid it. But otherwise, this is, well, the start of a journey. She kind of looks very excitedly at each of you, then back to Trevor, before she kind of steps to the side and opens up her arm to Trevor, who just starts to kind of shrink in on himself, and you see he is already covered in feathers, but the iridescence of his pigeon feathers just kind of ripple and start to grow longer and longer and longer and take on more of a tawny kind of barbed appearance, as his form starts to swell and grow larger and larger to take up almost a third of this platform that you're currently on, as Trevor transforms into a massive golden eagle.
Ooh.
So there are 5 of you. 2 of you and Basil can fit on one. Likely myself, since I'm just a little bit stronger than Trevor at this point. And the other 2 can actually go with Trevor. So it's up to you who would like to go with who. Who would like to travel with Trevor? He's a
Me.
safe flyer, I promise.
I'll travel with Elle.
I'll travel with the girls.
So you're all with me then, if it's the 3 of you. Wait, no, 2 plus Basil is how it has to go. And then the 2 others. Because Basil's the smallest. The rest of you are normal sized.
Ooh, Apoc and Aurora sitting on an eagle.
Apoc, I think you want to go with Elle.
I'm good wherever.
All right. I'll switch.
All right. I'll go with Basil and Mrs. Q.
Okay. So the 2 of you, you just need to sort of just climb and hang on to the feathers, essentially. You're not going to hurt Trevor, you're not going to hurt me. Just try not to pull any of them out if you can avoid it. And as you kind of climb on, you see Trevor doing his best to help Apoc and Elle get on, although it's a little clumsy. And you're not quite settled, but settled enough by the time Trevor opens up his wings and flies.
Before they do, I'm gonna just grab Apoc's hand before he gets on, and I'm gonna whisper into his ear. I never said thank you for trying to save me back in the Zogma house. Get there safe, and I'll give him a little kiss on the cheek.
Oh!
And then I'll go over to join the other 2.
All right. As your stomachs just kind of roller coaster-esque drop as Trevor takes flight. The 3 of you remaining, you see the similar sort of change happen with Astra. Her giant eagle, more of a blue tinged coloration to her feathers. As you're all able to clamber on, Basil being small enough that 3 people is not going to take up too much weight. As in the same motion, Astra opens up her wings, takes one big powerful downstroke, and also takes flight.
Mrs. Q wants to look at Apoc's face. You have any reaction, bro?
It's cold up here. They're beet red, but you don't know if it's from the temperature or from whatever just happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elle saw that whole interaction as that, and that is the only thing she's going to talk to Apoc about the entire ride.
Oh yeah, you're stuck. All right. Just being a little conscious of time. I think one thing that we will end the session with today, because it is almost 9:30. As you set off for your first half day of travel, I just want someone to roll an adventure roll so that we can pick up the next session with what is going to occur on this first half day of travel. So who would like to roll? You're all just pointing at a camera.
The one with the biggest coat has to roll.
Dang it.
Would Mrs. Q's coat create drag? Would it affect the flying, you know?
For the sake of my brain, no.
All right, adventure roll.
But
If
she
it
told-
rains, it's like plus 300 pounds.
Yeah.
It's an 8.
An 8. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna write it down and we'll figure out what happens next time with that. But you kind of feel the rush of adrenaline as you set off on this very fated, long-awaited journey to the Scorched Grove. After a few very quick, very long nights, first at the Avium and then in the House of Zogma a few nights later. Trying to unpack everything that you now know and what you know or don't know going into this next arc of the story. We will end there for the session.
Yeah.